Imagine you're 22 years old. You're standing at a crossroads. You have ambition. You have dreams. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You have no idea which decision today will shape the next 20 years of your life. Now imagine someone gives you 1 hour with Elon Musk. One question, one answer, one chance to ask what actually matters. What would you ask? In 2016, during a conversation with Sam Altman, Elon Musk was asked a surprisingly simple question. How should someone figure out how they can be most useful? Most people expected an answer about billion-dollar startups, artificial intelligence, maybe even the secret to becoming rich. Instead, Elon said something so simple that it's easy to overlook. Yet that single idea became the invisible thread connecting PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, and Neuralink. It wasn't about having the highest IQ. It wasn't about taking the biggest risks. It wasn't even about chasing success. It was about becoming useful to ordinary words. A philosophy that built extraordinary companies. But here's the question almost nobody asks. What if millions of people aren't failing because they lack talent? What if they're failing because they're chasing the wrong goal? That one idea changed the way Elon Musk built companies. And before this video ends, it might change the way you build your life. Let's begin. What if the biggest obstacle to success is the way we've been taught to think about success? From the time we're kids, we're given the same roadmap. Study hard, get good grades, find the perfect career, earn more, achieve more, be more successful. We're told that if we keep chasing success, one day we'll finally catch it. But Elon Musk played a completely different game. Looking back on his early career, he said something almost unbelievable. I really was just trying to be useful. Think about that for a moment. Not, I wanted to become the richest man in the world. Not, I wanted to build billion-dollar companies. Just, I was trying to be useful. That sounds ordinary. Until you realize how extraordinary it is. Because the moment you stop asking, how can I become successful? And start asking, what problem can I solve? Everything changes. Your focus shifts from chasing value to creating it. And here's the twist. The people who spend their lives chasing success often never find it. But the people who become impossible to ignore are usually the ones who spent years becoming useful. That simple shift became the foundation of everything Elon Musk built. But it also raises an even bigger question. If usefulness was his goal, how did he decide which problems were worth solving? So, if becoming useful is the goal, how do you know what's actually worth building? Most people judge an idea by asking, is this exciting? Will it make me successful? Elon asks a completely different question. Will this make someone's life meaningfully better? That one shift changes everything. Instead of chasing what looks impressive, you start solving what actually matters. Elon believes every great idea should answer two questions. First, is it genuinely better than what already exists? Does it save time, reduce costs, or eliminate a real frustration? Second, how many people will benefit from it? Because an idea that improves millions of lives will always create more impact than one that impresses only a few. Look closely at the world's biggest companies. Google didn't invent information. Uber didn't invent transportation. Canva didn't invent graphic design. They simply made each one dramatically easier. That's exactly what Tesla and SpaceX set out to do. Not just build products, but solve bigger problems for more people. And maybe that's the secret. Great ideas aren't born from asking, what's the next big thing? They begin by asking, what's the next problem worth solving? Here's a question most people never think to ask. Did Elon Musk really want to build a car company? The answer is no. Tesla was never the destination. It was simply the vehicle. If you read Tesla's master plan, one mission becomes impossible to miss: accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Cars were just the first chapter. But Elon knew he couldn't build an affordable electric car from day one. So instead of chasing the biggest win, he built the smallest step that could lead to it. First, a premium car. Then a lower cost model. Then, electric vehicles for the mass market. Every step financed the next. Every product moved the mission forward. And that's what separates vision from ambition. Most people fall in love with their product. Great innovators fall in love with the problem they're trying to solve. Because products change, technology changes, markets change. But a meaningful mission can last for decades. Suddenly, Tesla wasn't just selling cars. It was quietly changing the future one solution at a time. Sometimes, one question is all it takes to change the future. When Elon Musk first explored building rockets, he was quoted prices of around $65 million for a single launch vehicle. For most people, that would have been the end of the conversation. For Elon, it was the beginning. Instead of accepting the price, he asked a question almost nobody else was asking. What is a rocket actually made of? The answer surprised him. The raw materials, aluminum, titanium, copper, carbon fiber, and other metals cost only a fraction of the final price. So Elon challenged an assumption the entire industry had accepted. If the materials aren't worth tens of millions, why is the rocket? That single question became the foundation of SpaceX. Instead of following decades of industry tradition, the company built much of its technology in-house, cutting costs and accelerating innovation. And maybe that's the real lesson. The people who change the world don't accept every answer they're given. They question the assumptions behind it. Because every breakthrough begins the same way, with a question everyone else was afraid to ask. So, what does all of this mean if you're in your 20s? It means you don't have to have your life figured out. You just have to start building. In his conversation with Sam Altman, Elon emphasized that practical contribution matters more than collecting credentials for most people. Because the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards people who solve problems. So stop waiting for the perfect idea. Learn, build, experiment, fail, improve, then do it again. Here's the truth most people discover too late. Every project teaches you something. Every mistake sharpens your thinking. Every problem you solve makes you more valuable than you were yesterday. So here's your challenge. Don't spend this year trying to impress people. Spend it creating something that genuinely helps them. Even if it's only 100 people. Because the future rarely belongs to the people who waited until they were ready. It belongs to the people who started before they were. Now look back at everything we've uncovered. PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, Neuralink, 5 completely different companies. But if you look closely, they all began with the same question. What problem is worth solving? That's the pattern hiding in plain sight. Elon never chased industries. He chased problems. And that's why success became a byproduct, not the destination. The money came later. The recognition came later. The influence came later. Because when you solve problems that truly matter, people notice. When you create enough value, opportunities begin to find you. Does that guarantee success? No, but it puts you on the path where success is finally possible. Maybe that's the biggest lesson hidden behind Elon Musk's journey. The people who change the world don't spend their lives chasing success. They spend their lives becoming too useful to ignore. Let's go back to where we started. Imagine you're 22 again, standing at the beginning of your journey. You don't need the perfect idea. You don't need millions of dollars. You don't even need to have your whole life figured out. You just need to answer one question. Who will be better off because I chose to solve a real problem? That single question shaped every company Elon Musk went on to build. Not because he chased success, but because he chased usefulness. Maybe that's the lesson we've been missing all along. The world doesn't remember people for the dreams they had. It remembers them for the problems they solved. So before you leave this video, don't ask yourself, how can I become successful? Ask yourself, how can I become useful? Because 20 years from now, your life won't be defined by the goals you wrote down. It will be defined by the value you created. And maybe that's where success was hiding all along.